Hi, everybody. It's Eileen. How are you all today? I'm so excited to be here. We have a special guest. Her name is Kathleen Pittman, and she is one of our group in the Eileen Hull fan club. So we're going to get with her in a minute. First, I just have a couple of announcements. So while I'm waiting for everyone to get on, I'm going to go ahead and do those. In fact, I see there's nobody on yet. Maybe it's taking a minute to go live here. Oh, there's Anthony. Oh, now we have 3 people. How are you today, Anthony? Tony, sorry. There's Charlotta and Lisa. Hi. Hi, Facebook user. I think you have to enable, if you want us to see who you are, you have to enable that when you come on, but that's okay. Someone's saying, hey, hi. How's everybody today? Is it hot where you are? Oof, it's bad here. I'm not outside, obviously. So just a couple things I thought I would mention before we get going and see what Kathleen has for us. On Friday this week at 1 o'clock, we will be doing my first stamp release. Disgusting hot here, says Tony. There's Sheena. Hi, Sheena. There's Mez. So at 1 o'clock, I hope you'll join me. It's going to be on this format, and we are going to go through and see what some of the team is creating with the stamps. Up, everybody, it's so swassy here. I'm not sure what that means. 91 in Ohio. Hey, Leslie. Good. I'm glad everybody found us. I'm never sure when we use this platform. And there's some other people saying hello. I don't know what your name is because you have to enable it for me to know who you are. You could say your name, but anyway. A couple other things. My mom is getting ready to join me in Virginia. We're going to go up and get her. So this week on Friday, on Thursday, there will be no live, but we will do it instead on Friday with our stamp release. Okay. So we will not have nothing on Thursday, but one on Friday at 1 o'clock. So I'll post this in the group and let you know. Next week, since Mom is coming down, we're going up to get her. We're arranging her place and all that. I am not going to be going live next week. It's just too much, and I don't think my brain could do it. So we are going to skip next week, and I will be back the week after. Yes, stamp release. Woohoo! It involves Swampy and something else. Okay. Thank you for interpreting, Tony. All right, what else? On September 6th, on the CISIC site, we'll have a Facebook Live, and I'm going to show you how to create this little pumpkin-filled truck. So that will be fun. I'll put an announcement up about that. Yes, family first, Leslie. Thank you. I would like to invite you to join the Eileen Hull fan club on Facebook. That's our community that we have where we met Kathleen and all of you guys. Not all of you, but some of you. And we do some sharing there. We chat and just kind of help each other out and encourage each other, which I think we all can use, especially me. So I'm very grateful for all of you being part of that. Thank you with Mom and everything next week. Yes, it's all coming together. Mitziana needs a wet wipe. I'm sure it's hot in Texas. Ugh. Okay, we have a new post up on the blog. So if you want to head over to eileenhull.com, you'll see, I think we have 4 projects, and then we'll have some more coming up. And then if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm at Eileen Hull, and I'm doing stories now. I'm kind of getting a little better at it. So if you want to come over there, there's some kind of behind the scenes things that I don't post on my page. So you're welcome to join me on Instagram. Oh, Loretta just received the truck die for her birthday. Great. Happy birthday, Loretta. You and my mom. Hers was on Sunday. My son's was on Saturday. So, okay. Well, I think that is all I have to announce. We're going to talk to Kathleen, and she has some really fun things to share with us, which includes some organization tips and her process of creating. So I am going to turn this, well, I'm going to bring her on right now and let's meet her. There she is. Hi, Kathleen. Can you tell us a little bit about where you're from and what you like to do, that kind of thing?
I'm from Roswell, New Mexico, where the aliens live. And, I'm just about that age. So if you look at my ceiling and my window, you'll know I live in an adobe house with all the bells and whistles. It's a hacienda style, if you know what that is.
Wow.
And I love it. I love it. I'm retired. I was a professor for 25 years. And before that, I taught school for K-12 for 14. So I've always been doing these things, Eileen.
Yeah.
My mom died when I was very young, but not before she taught me how to make furniture out of wallpaper for my paper dolls and how to sew. So my big memories of my mother are doing crafts.
Neat.
And I've done it all my life. And right now I'm doing journals because I made the mistake of putting one of my journals on my Facebook page, and I started getting orders and they don't stop.
Wow.
But I've made 14. The one I'm going to show you the process will be number 15. So you get pretty good at it. And I can do one in 2 days if I work at it. So
cool.
All right. What I'm going to do.
That's great. Well, thank you for introducing yourself. It's always so fun. We see the pictures and all, but it's just not the same as actually, and we're not even in person, although we did meet in person. Mm-hmm. Yes. But we don't always get to do this. This is at least a little better than just seeing a picture. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to kind of remove myself here, and I'm going to turn this over to Kathleen. And if I see any questions in the chat, I'm going to come back on and or mention them to you as you're going, if that's okay, Kathleen.
That's fine.
All right. Here we go.
Hi, everybody. I can't see who's there like I usually can, but I know I recognize some names, and I see you on Facebook Lives all the time, and I'm glad to get to talk to you a little bit. I'm going to try to answer some questions that I had and that people have asked me. And the first thing I want to talk to you about is how to be sane and save time when you're making things at your desk. I know most of us have this tendency to have everything out all at once, and then what we're looking for is covered up by several layers of stuff. So last year, it was last year, 2020. We went on lockdown. So I go into my studio and I can't even wrap my head around it. And I put my head on my desk and on a lot of stuff, I'm sure, and said, "Dear God, help me. What do I do?" So I set my alarm for 10 minutes. For 10 minutes, I straightened up. I could do it for 10 minutes. And then I extended it another 10 till I really got my studio in great shape. I cleaned out, gave away, trashed. I kept what I thought I wanted and could use. So that's how this all got started. But then I kept making these journals, and my desk was just a disaster. So I started figuring out what would help me. And now I've been using it for several weeks, and I'm going to share some things with you that have really helped me. The first thing is these little bottles. They're available on Amazon, and I don't know for sure what they're called, but you can find them. They're not cheap, but I only have 2. And I bought some little funnels, and you see my fancy pins. I was losing a pen every time I opened a glue bottle. I have arthritis, and the little bottles are much easier for me to use. So my husband said, fill them up at once, and then you won't have to fill them up so often. So I've been doing that. I have a tiny little funnel, and I use Verily or AGT glue. Is it AGT? Art Glitter Glue, AGG. Okay. So that's one secret. These, by the way, are quilting pins. Let me see if I can find you there. And see, some of them have butterflies on them. I got them at Amazon. I live in a town that has no shopping. We have a Hobby Lobby, and that's it. So I buy most of my stuff online. Okay, let me see if I can get this out. I have a tray, a Dollar Tree, and in it I keep my tape. I keep bits of ribbon and spools of ribbon that go with my project. And in this one, I keep ephemera. Some of it I make, some of it is in a pack. Just whatever I have that's going to go, that could go on my project. That has helped me a lot. And then on the other side of that is a collapsible trash. Now, I don't use it for trash. These are scraps. We all want to keep our scraps because we're going to use them. If we're doing a journal, we're going to try to use our scraps. I'll tell you in a minute what I buy for journal making, the paper. But I try to keep all my scraps because some of them are quite large and I can use them. Okay, let's see. Oh, here's another thing that somebody said something about this on some website and I had to buy it, and it's worth every penny. It wasn't much. I think it was $6.95 at, and it's a mechanics magnetic tray. They come in all sizes. This is mine. You see our little clips that Eileen told us about. If I have a little tiny die like this one, that's sort of, where does that go? I don't know. I just put it in here because then when I need it, I'll know where to look. So this has just little stuff in it that the magnet holds it in, and it's probably the best $6.95 investment I ever made. Okay. When I'm finished with my project, I take the scraps, the ephemera, anything that I think is for that paper, and put it in a 12 by, well, it's about 13 by 13, large plastic folder that has a little string to keep it together. They're flat. They don't take up the space that my regular storage, which is the hard plastic scrapbook keeper things. I like these. I needed more. And I looked online and I couldn't find exactly what I had, but I found some called Generations Crafter Keepers. And I think those will be just as good. So every time I finish a project, I put all of that stuff, the scraps, in one of those. Okay. Another question I've been asked is how. Okay, Eileen.
No, sorry. There's no question. I just wanted to say those are really cool little gadgets. And maybe after we can link them or put them in comments under if people wanted to find them. Yeah.
Okay,
really
great.
Great.
I can send you a list, perhaps. I don't have the capacity to put them on myself.
Yeah, that's okay. Just even say what they are.
After it's over. I can go look at Facebook.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Okay, yeah, thanks.
Okay,
I'm trying to get to where I can talk to you but not be in the picture because, whoops, not that one. I'm trying to get so you can hear me because there are a couple things here and there, but that's okay. I'm going to let you keep.
Okay. So I've been asked, and I'm sure you've seen my folio journals in Eileen Hull fan club, because I've posted them there over the last few months. And I always get a lot of comments and sometimes questions. So the most frequent question is, could you do a tutorial? How do you assemble those? What's your process? How do I make that? And I don't want yours to be like mine. I want yours to be like yours. So I'm not going to do a tutorial, because every one I do is different. And I try my hardest to make every page unique. Now, there's some things I use over and over because they work. But I'm going to give you some advice on how to do these folios. And it doesn't matter if it's a folio or passport or whatever kind of journal you're working on. These things work for me. These are kind of steps, but you have to adapt it to you. These are just suggestions. So the first thing I do is assemble materials. I get my paper, and I use Stamperia or Graphic 45 or Echo Park almost all the time, although I have made some from just a collection of generic paper, and that's fine. It's a little more work because you have to cut out a lot of things that will be already printed for you in these ready-made packets. It's not a kit. Someone asked me if I use a kit. No, I don't use a kit, but I do buy these paper folders. Let me show you. Let me show you this one. This is Stamperia, and it's garden. Can you see it? Okay. And so there are all these different things that you can use that are actually in the packet. So I bought 2 packets of that because somebody wanted that particular theme. And I was worried I wouldn't have enough to do one out of one, a whole folio out of one pack, but I did. I try to do that all the time. So then you decide what you're going to, you choose your paper. And I generally choose generic papers because I've wasted so much time and so many mat board pieces because I chose a directional paper and I put it in wrong. I finally have learned how to use it correctly thanks to a workshop that Eileen did on that very subject. This is what I chose for this little one. And what you're seeing is the beginnings, and I don't, you'll see, I don't always do it in this order, but I wanted you to see the pieces. So the first thing I do is make my cover, my outside cover. And then the next thing I do actually is cut off a corner. I do 3 inches on each side because I want to use whatever I put in the pocket as decoration. And I want to make sure people can get it out because those are my favorite things, the things that go in my pocket. So let's see. I then decide what I'm going to put in that pocket. Here's what it looks like from the inside. Looks like this. There's no need to line this. It's going to be covered. It's no need to worry about this because it's going to be covered. It'll look like this when it's finished. Can you see that? This camera's bothering me.
Yeah, maybe if you could, you know, can you see? Yeah. Let me get out of here. But yeah, we couldn't see. But
okay,
try again.
Can you see it now? I hope so.
Maybe a little higher.
There. Is that
Perfect.
better?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So you're not going to see me. You're just going to see this voice like the Wizard of Oz speaking. Okay. So that's how it's going to look when this is taped in proper position. All right, I'm gonna go on and then I'll come back to the inside again. So I've decided what I'm going to do. Then I have to decide on the front cover. And for this particular one, I found, and this is not a picture per se, it's just a piece of paper. There. Just a piece of paper from this book. And what I did to make it special is to decoupage it with the Mod Podge that has sparkle in it. Glitter Mod Podge. One coat is all it took. So I cut it, I did the Mod Podge, and I'm really ready to go to the next step, which is to attach whatever closure. I have to think through that. Sometimes I use ribbon. I've also used everything else that I can think of, and I've never been really happy. I'm going to try the Hitch Closure that Eileen showed us a few days ago. But what I've done is I've glued it right here. And while I'm here, let me show you another little trick. I use it where it has 3 holes here. And then this piece right here, you know, when you cut out a folio journal, you're going to have the outside, and it's a little piece like this one. See that? I want it even on the outside and the inside. So I cut that piece to fit, and it's just perfect. I also put one on the inside. That helps a lot. So then, yes, Eileen.
Wait, let me, I'm not kidding. Where did you get that little strip?
When I use the die cut for the folio journal,
right,
it cuts it out, and there are 2 little strips on each side.
Okay.
Look at it and you'll see.
All right, let me look. I have one right here. Oh, this strip here?
No, on the sides, not the ends, the sides where you have front, where you put front.
Okay.
That's going to be a narrow strip.
Oh, this right here.
No. Let me get my die.
Yeah. I mean, I have seen the die, but I can't get where you're finding
it. Here is my die.
Okay.
This strip.
Wait, let me get myself out so you can.
This strip and this strip.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Because they're just the right width. And you don't have to do anything except just cut them off where you want.
Okay.
Which
Got
is
it.
5 1/4 inches. I just happen to know that.
All right. Thank you.
So that helps balance this out. So when you start putting, now I'm just going to show you, oh, my ribbon came off. That's okay. I'm just going to show you what I do. All right. Before I put the cover on or anything like that, I line it. And I've already put the thing I always use, which is a waterfall, in place. And I also use the binder. It's a thinless die, or that's not what it's called. It's one of the thin ones. I use it, and I personally like to put it toward the front and leave more room on this side so that this will fit better. That's just the way I do it. So let's see. I pretend I have the ribbon. Pretend I have put the cover on. Now the ribbon goes on first, and then you put this on it, which hides the ribbon and holds it tight. Okay. And then you're free to do something else. And what I do, I make whatever is going in that pocket. Here is what I made. This is Eileen's little 12 by 12 paper made into a little folio thing. And this fits perfectly in the pocket. Now, when you use directional paper, part of it's going to be upside down. So to compensate for that, I put this little thing on the front of it so people would know bottom and top. The back is upside down. Can't help that. That's just the way it goes. Whoop, I just lost something. So what I did with this, as you can see, is I put another waterfall here on one side, and on this side, I put some journaling cards. Whoop, nope, this side, this side. Some journaling cards. You can see you can take them out. Whoop, yeah. It's kind of confusing to me. Here it is. You can take it. It's an envelope, actually. Just some ephemera I bought that I put in there. Fits real well. And then on the other, I made it just like she made it, with one exception. I didn't make the front fancy because this paper was kind of difficult to use. So I just wanted to have a plain front instead of the cute little corner circles, the quarter circles that she showed us how to use. And I know her her video is up there somewhere, so you can see it for yourself. But I tied it with a little piece of burlap because this is kind of a rustic kind of thing. So I made that next. So, and I'll tell you why. Because when I was first making these, I'd get so tired of them that I wouldn't spend the time that I should on that very important thing that goes in the pocket. Sometimes I do cards. Sometimes I do a notebook and cut it off and make a pin that matches. These little folio journals are a little bit more, they take longer and they're a little bit more difficult. However, the payoff is wonderful. All right, let me show you what I do to the outside of the back of this. Now, if you have questions, let me know. So let's pretend the cover is on here. Let's pretend the ribbon is on here. And it's 4 inches from here to here. And then I fold it at 1 and 1. I do use adhesive sheets to adhere the paper to the chipboard. Eileen has them in her Etsy store. She has the sheets and the mat board. So they're not hard to come by. I've been kind of dismayed because I used to buy some from Sizzix that I really liked. I can't find them now, but Eileen's got the ones that I used on this. Anyway, now I like to put charms, and I use a little Tim Holtz thing. That's a little circle with a loop here, a little ring like a jump ring. And then I attach them with these pins. Do you see that? I think those are all Tim Holtz, but you've got to reinforce this. You have to reinforce this or it'll pull. So I've done that and I put it on the outside. I usually use something decorative. I could put it on the inside, but the inside is just plain. Now this is 4 inches by 5 1/4, 1 inch fold on both sides. And what that does, that goes over. Now you just got to get it straight, but see how that covers up.
That is genius. I just have to tell you.
Really?
Nothing in to say. Yeah.
Thank you.
I love it. All right, I'm leaving.
Okay. So you really have a nice little, it's all finished. It looks finished. So we haven't made any pages yet, have we? This is what I do. I cut out the pages. I normally cut out three solid colors that I match with my stash from the cardstock. And then I do 2 of the print. sometimes I reverse that. Sometimes I do all solid. Depends on what I'm going to do with it. This one I put lace on the bottom when I glued it in. And I'll tell you, to help my creativity, I just sort of randomly decide if I'm going to have 2 little pockets in the top, or 1, or do a half. See the half? These things were beautiful in the paper, and I had to use them, but they're they're too big. So I just folded them in half, and there are 4 of them. So that made a real nice addition to this half pocket I made. Let's see. Here's one that I clipped a little. I put a little torn piece on the bottom, and stuck a little envelope in there. Here is one of the, this is a thing that holds tags. I think it's a Tim Holtz. I know it's Sizzix. And I did that. And you see, I haven't finished. I'm not through with this. I'm just in that part. But whenever I cut stuff out, I cut tags. I cut those little reinforcements that get all over my studio, but I never have quite enough. But I cut them out. If I'm going to cut out anything, I cut those out with it. I bought myself a Big Shot Plus the other day. I think I heard Eileen make a hint about that. So I went ahead and got it so I could use larger pieces of paper and cut more at one go through. Okay. So let's, then I would leave everything until I have all the pages finished. And I would put those in last, and I would arrange them however I wanted. I usually try to have something fancy every other page. So like this one, it's going to be for both. And I try to put something fairly plain near the waterfall, because here's it would be on this side. Okay, because it does take up some space. So let's just say I put a solid page, and then take something with a little fancy, and you can put lace. Another hint, don't make it matchy. Make every piece of lace unique, every piece of ribbon unique if you have the materials, because that just gives it an added flair. Here is the little tag thing. So the back has not been done. Here's this one. So I would do probably solid print, solid print, solid. So when this is going to be down now, and there's this little cute little thing I made. It's going to be up here. So you want this last page to be plain. Okay. Does that make sense to you? Now, I don't know what you want to do. I don't know what kind of paper you're going to get, but I just absolutely find each one of these fascinating to make. Another part of creativity is the problem solving ability. When you glue something in the wrong place, how are you going to fix it? That's creativity, and that takes some doing. I'm pretty good at it, because I've made a lot of errors, all kinds of errors. A common error that I've made is to put the front piece on before I put the closure. And so what happens, your tie is going to be across the front where you wanted to highlight that. But there's, I'm an oil painter, and I'm here to tell you, with the oils, you can fix it. Acrylics, not so much, but oils, you can. And with these journals, that's part of the fun, just playing with the materials, seeing how they go together, and then fixing your issues. let's see. Attach the bottom of the back pocket, and then that's the last thing you do. Um, I finally figured out, where is that? I had it right here. Oh, I put it over here where it belongs. I finally figured out that it is possible to get a good sturdy piece um, out of that Biggs die. It's You just have to watch your margins and I can't find that thing. I didn't put it where I thought it's probably under. Well, too bad. Anyway, that's really what I have. And what questions do you have? Would you like to see some more folio journals?
I would.
Okay. Before that, Rose has asked how I attach the pages.
Right.
Okay. So here's the binding. Whoop. There I am. There's the binding that I cut and folded out of an Eileen Hull binder thinlet die. Okay. And on every one of these pages, I've made sure that I leave something open and it fits right on those pages. So it's not hard to put them in. You just attach them with glue. Now, if you're brave, you could use tape, of course. I am not brave. I like glue because I have a little give. Does that answer your question about how to put them on? You can also use elastic, and I've done that, where you bind your book with elastic instead of the binder that I made. And that works too. And then you could just slip your pages through that elastic, and you cut double pages in that case.
Yes. Oh, she got it. Okay. She said, yes, thanks.
Okay.
So
if you will talk to them for 1 minute, I'll just hop over here and bring some journals that I have made that I haven't delivered. Everything I've made so far is sold. And I still have 10 to make on this order.
Yeah, that's orders. Great.
So I charge, I think I probably don't make a lot of profit, but it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Somebody's willing to pay for them.
That's right.
And it does cover the cost of my materials plus a little bit. Okay.
Good.
I'll be right back.
Okay. I'm going to do full screen here. So isn't this fun to see how Kathleen creates? I bet all of you have equally cool ways that you make things, a little shortcuts. So if we do one of these again, I'd love to see what you guys are doing to, you know, the little tips and techniques. That's always fun. You see what I do, but, you know, we like to see what you do too. So I think she is back.
I am.
There you are. All right, I'm going to go out.
This is one called Orchids and Cats. And it's tied. Somebody else tied this the last time, so it's not very even, but it's made just like the other, but every page is different because the materials are different. In this one, I put cards, handmade cards. I always try to do something to my envelopes. It takes quite a bit of paper if you want to line them, which I do sometimes. But this one, I just did a little cutout on each one. If you have any questions about any of these specific ones, let me know. Here's that one is a Stamperia, I believe, called Cats and Orchids. This is Woodland Friends by Graphic 45. I just loaded this one a few days ago. So, I have a question about how much I charge. I charge $30. Now, I do that because one of my regular buyers charges $50 in her store, and she has to make profit. So I'm going to make them anyway. So I charge $30. If I have made a box to match. Boxes are awful. They take a huge amount of paper, and I mistakenly only charge $10, but I should charge $15 for the box. If I have to mail them, ship them, they go in one of those postage things from the post office, you
The
know,
flat
and they're
rate.
15 bucks.
Yeah. Yep. The flat rate box.
Flat
Yeah.
rate box. So this one, it's kind of cool. I did a fancier thing for the back of this one, a fancier folio journal. Let's see what this one is. This one is probably my favorite. It's Home Sweet Home by Graphic 45. And it's just, you know, this one has cards in the back that are recipe cards. So I saw at Hobby Lobby, they had some recipe cards, and I think it would be kind of fun to use the other ones. I don't have enough of this paper yet to make another one, but I will probably order it. There's what it looks like inside, and let's see what else. Now I'll tell you what I do. Can you see the waterfall? I put 4 of the pages on this side, and then the cover goes down, and then I have one left that's grouped with the little pocket in the back, and that seems to make it evener and it's easier to close. Okay. Okay, here is one. Oh, I love this one. This is, forgot about the Ciao Bello papers from Italy. This one is, I think, lovely. And it's got a lot of fancy. When I first started making these, I went through all of my dies. And so I use a lot of old discontinued dies. I suggest you do that. This butterfly thing, everybody loves the butterfly. It's just an old die that was used to make a fold along card or something that Sizzix had out several years ago. This has cards in the back, and the pages are similar to the others. As I told you, I always start with a waterfall on this back front. It just fits. And the papers in this particular thing were very nice. You see it's tied with a black ribbon. And the usual things. This was something else. It didn't fit, so I cut it off so it would and put some rhinestones on it to make it pretty. One thing you need to think about, leave places for people to journal, because this is supposed to be an album journal. So do leave places for people to write and for pictures. Okay, Rose is asking how I put that extra spine piece on. Okay, I'll show you on the one I'm just now working on. Here. So what I will do, I will put score tape like this all over that back. Now I would have the ribbon or lace already on there for the closure. And then on the spine piece, I'm going to put tape on this side because I want it to hold on both sides. Hang on, folks. My husband had come to get the dog to take her to the groomer. So that's how I do. And then when I found it real easy to get it straight. I do this first, and then I peel the sides and do them one at a time. And I've never had any trouble with it. This is one thing I can do. Watch me on this one, I'll screw it up, but normally it works. What other questions do you have?
I haven't seen any others, Kathleen, but
Okay.
They can post them now. There's sometimes a little delay.
I want to show you a mistake I made.
Yeah.
Okay. This one, You would never know that the ribbon on the sides, I love it. I think I bought it at Hobby Lobby. And I made a mistake because I put the paper, I didn't turn the whole thing over when I cut it. So the folds didn't come out right. And when I tried to fold them, they cracked. So I put the ribbon here to, so you couldn't see the cracks. And personally, and I carried it over to the inside because it had problems too. I think it's kind of cool that way. I like that. So when you make mistakes, first of all, everybody does, even Eileen. And she will tell you that one of the funnest things is fixing those mistakes. There's hardly anything you can't fix. I have put double covers on things. I've done all kinds of things to cover up the mistake.
I think that is, like you said, I think that is the creativity in making things, because you can't always know before you start. You know, I mean, you've made a lot of them now, so you know what not to do, but the first time you're making it, forget it. It's just an experiment, and you might as well just say, I don't know what's going to happen here. So to me, that's kind of the fun exploration of it. So yeah, this is great, Kathleen. Thank you for yeah. Do you have anything? Are you good?
I want to encourage everybody a little bit, because this is a wonderful gift, being able to make things. People absolutely love these things. I made a smaller journal, and I put elastic in it for my priest's wife who just moved to Oklahoma, and she just can't stop talking about it.
Oh,
And it's not because it was so wonderful. It was because it was personal.
right.
And I have over the years collected scripture stamps. So crosses and scripture stamps can make this into a meditation journal. You can just, your imagination can just run wild with it. And when I see something on Eileen Hull's fan club or some other pages I'm on, it gives me an idea. I might not use that idea, but it triggers something. And as I told you, I want every page to be different. I want every page to be unique, because that's what creativity is.
Yeah. Yeah, you can use a formula, but still it's never going to look the same because you're using different papers or whatever. Sometimes, you know, if you're trying to get a lot done at a time, you know, you might use a similar format or something, but still you're making it by hand. And
you are
throwing a couple of mistakes and, you know.
And Eileen, the other day, you were showing us how, or you were talking about how you could make things like assembly line style, make all the covers, and you asked me if I did it that way.
Yeah.
I don't. And the reason I don't is because this is art.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be like Picasso and make several of things alike.
Right.
I want each to be different. And if I had to do it assembly, like I do Christmas cards now, I'll make Christmas cards and make, you know, assembly line. But with this, it's just fun.
Yeah. Well, that's the beautiful part of it. It's fun. And
thank you so much.
Oh,
everybody, thank you. I hope you didn't all drop off.
No, it was great to see. Like I said, it's always interesting to see someone's process, because you always pick up tips like that spine. I love that idea, and I'm going to have to try it. So even if that's, you know, one thing out of this whole, it's worth, you know, watching. And plus we get to meet you and see you in your space and all that. It's always fun.
Well, I struggle with how to close journals. And I'm going to start trying to experiment and see what I've used elastic and a button
Mhm.
I've ordered some of those little hitch things you told us
Yeah,
about
those are
last
fun.
week.
Yeah, those are easy.
But normally I do a ribbon because that's
Well, those are nice too. They work. They do take a little time. You have to time every time you open and close, which, yeah, I do like the elastic, but then,
yeah,
you
I've
do
used
different
that.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, thank you so much. I really
you're more than
appreciate.
welcome.
On behalf of our group, I want to thank you and encourage anyone. Kathleen, was this torturous or horrible in any way? I didn't make you do it.
No, you didn't.
Did not
The
say
the best
Kathleen.
part about it was I thought I was going to have 5 minutes, and I ended
Well,
up with more like 45 minutes, and it
well,
was fun. I'm a teacher.
yeah,
It gives me a
yeah,
for people to listen and
yeah.
learn. And I hope you
Well,
did take away something from this.
yeah. Well, it's inspiration for our whole community. So thank you for that.
All
And
right.
yeah,
So
all
all
right.
of you can do this. It's
Thank
very easy.
you. Yeah. Yes. It's hard for me, and I got to figure out how I can be on audio at the same time so I can just kind of, talk every once in a while without having to get on the screen. But I'm sure there's a way. I don't know what it is. They changed some stuff. I haven't done this in a while. So anyway, but the hard part is on my side. And when you're a guest, you just pop in and then you're up on the screen. So it's not that hard. So
And
it's
and
fine.
and you're out of control because Eileen
Yeah.
controls this. If she doesn't like what you said, she'll just take you down.
Well, I didn't mean to, but I was trying to
No,
stay
you
out
didn't. Not me.
of well,
Well, it's
fun.
been fun, Eileen. It's always good to be with you and the
Well,
group.
same here. Thank you very much for coming. And like I said, we will not be on next week, but this week on Friday we'll have our stamp release, and we'll see you guys then. Hopefully, it'll be in this format because we're going to have the team coming on and sharing. So anyway, hope you have a good couple days, and we'll see you again on Friday. And once again, thank you, Kathleen, for coming.
You're
And
more than welcome. Thank you.
all right, see you all soon. All
All
right,
right.
bye.
Bye.